Today we're going to be working on just getting a head start on our upcoming project. Where in 104, we're going to be now moving into the modeling aspect now that we have laid the groundwork for linear equations, quadratic, and power equations. Um, Now higher order degrees or polynomials such as cubic and quartic functions. So we're kind of just laying down the work for it. Now, if you haven't done so already, let's go ahead and make a Desmos account. I already have one here, so I have account settings. So if you have one that says guest, just go ahead and make your free account. That way you can go ahead and save. Now I'm gonna have this to be some sort of title. So I first need to, I think, have to put something in here. So I'll maybe do this at the very end. But first thing I wanna do is make sure that I have some sort of table that comes up. So I'm going to hit, let's see, this add feature, and I'm going to hit a table. Now, we have used a table before, but that is when we already know your equation. We're going to be going in the reverse come our project. So we're just going to leave it blank for now. Instead, we're going to go and open up a new cell. Now we're going to go ahead and hit Y with the subscript of 1. To get the subscript, we're going to hold down your little bar key right here, and then that'll allow us to type in your subscript. We're going to do Y1. This is referring to when we have your data values of this cell here. Then we're going to do this squiggly line, which I hit Shift and then this squiggly right here. And then to perform your linear equation, right? Normally we have mx plus b. For us, we're going to hit actually scroll out here. Then we hit ax sub 1 one more time plus b. And again, this x1 or x sub 1 is referring to your x column here. So it is going to show up that there's some sort of an error. That is because we're referring to cells that are empty, but now let's go ahead and do the same thing. So this is your linear. Now let's go ahead and enter in a quadratic. So we can do the y sub 1 again. That's squiggly. Ax. Now we're going to put a degree of 2, right? Think about how your quadratic formulas are set up. It's ax squared plus bx plus c, right? So we have your x squared here. Now we also need a subscript to refer to this column. So we're going to put a subscript of 1 plus bx subscript of 1. Each time we put an x value, we need to refer it to this column here. So x sub 1 and then plus c. We are also going to enter in a cubic function. So you have y sub 1, that squiggly line, ax. Now, this being a cubic, we need it to the third degree. Again, we're referring to an x, we need x sub 1 plus bx raised to now the squared. And again, subscript 1 plus cx, subscript of 1. And you notice you don't need a degree here because it's assumed that it's 1 plus c. So this is your cubic. Now we're going to enter in your quartic, so now a degree of 4. So when we have y sub 1, ax to the 4th sub 1 plus bx cubed sub 1 plus cx squared sub 1 plus dx. And normally right after d, we would say plus e. But keep in mind what we know about e. E is about 2.718. Now, if you don't know what E is, maybe you haven't watched your chapter 5 videos yet. E is going to be, as you can tell, a number. So if we said plus E, it's going to think that we're going to add this 2.72 number into your formula. So instead, we're just going to hit plus F here. That way, there's no confusion in your Desmos account or your calculator that it's actually going to be a constant rather than E as a numerical constant. So these are the ones that we have covered so far. We also have seen a power function, so we can enter in that one. Your power function really isn't going to be used much, but we'll enter it in regardless. So your power function is just when we have um, ax sub 1 to the b here. And that will be pretty much it as far as the ones we have covered. Now we still have chapter 5 ahead of us. So we still have your exponential function set up. We have your logarithmic function set up. And we also have your logistic function. So there's 3 more that in the future you can add to it. But once we get to your regression side of it, you at the very least have everything set up in one page that we can now title. Come on, I'm going to save it here. Okay. Save as Desmos project or Math 105 or so sorry, 104 Desmos project. So you can save that because in the end, right, you'll notice that when I'm looking at my account, I have a lot of things that have been saved. This was less than a minute ago, and I want to say I saved one from earlier, but you'll notice that I have lots and lots of different ones that I can refer to. You can see a cubic and quartic regression. So I'm just going to open that one up real quick. So you'll notice that in the end, we should have something such as this, where you have lots of x values and y values. Don't worry so much about this e value. This is something that we're going to have your calculator set up. But you'll notice that we have lots of different regressions. And my hope is that once we have everything here that is set up, you can always just double click these functions that we have now created today and see, okay, which is going to be a best fit given our data. So I'm going to actually remove this one. So if this is the data that we've typed in, we can just kind of click and see which one is your best model for these. And as you can see, some of these aren't going to work. However, this one is probably the best fit. And you'll notice that we have F here. And it's going to define for us A, B, C, D, and for us, F, as far as based on your best fit. So this is what our modeling is all going to be leading up towards. And again, you can see some other ones that you'll have here. So again, you can also break it up once we get there between your sections. So when we cover chapter 2.2, which is just your linear regression, you can open up a new note for this or a new section and just have this already laid out. You can always copy and paste what we've done earlier in this video into specific ones as well. Now, your average error, this is the stuff that we haven't quite learned yet. This is going to be the new stuff when it comes to average error portion of it, which all you have to do is once this is all completed, these are just 2 extra cells that you can put into it. And that is going to be it for this video. I hope you found this informative, and we'll be using Desmos in the future.